Hi, it's Cindy Fodor here with Make It Monday. Hope you can join me tonight. I have some really fun projects to show you from our brand new catalog that's starting on January the 5th. If you haven't gotten yours yet and you've been a customer of mine, I promise you it's in the mail. That's not saying much, is it? I sent them out about 2 weeks ago or so. And if you aren't a customer yet, but you would like a catalog and you don't have a demonstrator, please make a comment or message me. Let me know, and I will make sure that you get one in the mail. We have so many exciting things coming up, and I don't want you to miss out on any of it. So tonight I will be showing you two projects. I'm going to give you just a couple sneak peeks. I have been playing all day with the new stuff. I am working on projects for the Stamp the Love classes. I am working on projects for the birthday card Stamp-A-Stack that's coming up. And I'm also working on ideas for our stamps in the mail. So a lot of things happening, and I am just in my glory trying to come up with all these ideas. Actually, I'm copying a lot. I found a lot of great ideas online that I love, and I'm not afraid to copy from somebody. Let me just make sure that we are coming through here. And yeah, there, I see it. Okay, let's see if there's sound. And there is. And let's not listen to me in stereo. All right, so I will give everybody a few minutes to pop on, and then I'm going to get started because I have a lot to show you. So I do have an announcement to make, of course. From last Monday, we have a winner, and I will announce that in just a minute, so stick with me. Hey, Sylvia, good to have you here. So thankful you could join me. All right, so I just want to make sure that it's 8 o'clock everywhere. I know clocks can be a little different, so oh my goodness, there are so many cute things to play with. My tables are completely covered in new stamps. So yeah, it's really, I feel like my mind is just going a mile a minute. Like there's so many things I want to stamp, and I need about a whole week of just being stuck in my stamp room so that I can make all the projects I want to do. I know, you all feel the same way, right? Too bad I can't sell time because I could probably get really rich. But anyways, we'll make the most of what we have, right? Okay. Hi, Debbie. Oh, good. I'm glad you got your packet. I think you're one of the only ones that has gotten the packets that I had to send, unfortunately. But we will be doing the Zoom anyways for that event. Even if they didn't get their packets yet, they'll have the recording to go back and do, but we'll do the bingo and everything. So I'm glad you got yours. I'm not sure why it's taking so long for everybody else, but you're in Pennsylvania and the other ones are not. So I'm guessing that's what is making the difference. So, but some of the things are stuck in Lancaster, and I'm not sure what the deal is with that. So, all right. So let's go ahead and get started. Let me do the announcement. So I was giving away a pack of the new resin heart embellishments. Let me just flip you over here. So they're red hearts and white hearts. And the winner of the commenter from last Facebook Live is Linda Ruth. So congratulations, Linda. That will be in the mail to you eventually. This is just a quick peek at things I've been working on for different classes that are coming up, and I will be sending an email out very shortly to let you know what all is happening there. Okay, so again, I just want to remind you that if you didn't get your catalog, don't despair. They probably are still on their way. If you're new and you haven't ordered from me before and you want a catalog, then just leave a comment or message me and let me know. Okay? All right. So the first project I want to show you is, I think it's called Black Magic or Magic on black. Um, I'm probably doing it differently than most cards are anyways, but yeah, I think it's a really fun technique. And so I've done a few steps already just because it takes a lot of drying time, and I'll explain that as I go. So let's get started. Okay, so I am using the new set called Art. Guess what? I took it out because I was using it for some other cards. Art Gallery, it's called. It is such a pretty set. There's several different stamps used here. And this lighting is really bad. But you can see the gold foiling I used in the thank you and in the center. Unfortunately, you can't see how beautiful the card is because this light is just not picking it up with all the black. But anyways, so I have, let me pull out, I think that the Stamparatus is absolutely essential for doing this because, first of all, this is my first, I probably should turn this paper over so that you don't see the creatures on the other side. Okay, so I stamped the two stamps with our Whisper White ink, and I have that here. If you do not have that, it's our Craft Whisper White pad, and you definitely want to get the ink refill. In fact, I think it comes with the ink refill if I remember correctly, because you usually I find that I need to re-ink it every time before I use it. Anyways, you'll stamp it with that. So I had that set up. I have several settings here on my Stamparatus, so I'm just going to pull that one out. So this is the one I had set up right here, and I inked that with white, and I stamped it several times. The other thing that I did was I found that I really wanted the white coverage. With this one, I felt like I didn't get as good a white coverage as I would have liked, and so the color didn't pop as much when I stamped the color on there. So I came back with one of our colored pencils, the white one, and I filled in everything really good with this white colored pencil. And I've already done it here, I think, for this one. So I'm just going to go over it and make sure that I have everything covered well. But anyways, that step is not absolutely necessary, but I will tell you that this image was stamped with the white ink at least 2 times, possibly 3. Just depending on what my ink level was. I did have to re-ink it. I did like 30 some of these, so I had to re-ink it at least once. Okay, now I am ready to stamp on here, and I'm going to show you that step, and then I will skip to the next step, and we will do Through the Magic of TV. So I'm using Rich Razzleberry for my top, and then Old Olive for the bottom. And I'm pulling out my ink spots because it's easier to ink on the Stamparatus. I love my ink spots for that. And especially here where I have both of these stamps together, really close together. Is that a hole, or is that yeah, that must be a hole in the stamp. I couldn't tell if there was something on there. Hey, Linda, welcome. Did you, I don't know if you were on when I announced the winner from last week. You were the winner of the heart embellishments. Every time I go to stamp, let me ink this first. I make sure that, let me get that red off of there. I make sure that my paper is in the corner like I want it. And I'm not worried if I miss the spot, because I'm going to be able to go back over this if I need to. So up in the corner, place it down and give it a good press. So, so just recapping what I've done so far is I've stamped the same image in white craft ink several times to get a really good coverage. In fact, letting it dry in between, you can see how it didn't catch the ink here. So I'm just going to go ahead and press that down again. And then I dried it in between. Actually, I left it sit now for a little while so that it could dry. I'm going to go ahead and ink that again. You can see I still need some coverage there. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm okay with the green with the stem. It looks good to me, so I'm not going to worry about that. Once again, pushing it up in the corner. Just get in that habit of always pushing that into the corner. My table's a little givey here, so I'm used to working on a solid glass table. And it does look like there is something on my stamp. Hold on a second. It is. It's a glue dot, for pity's sakes, I guess, unless it's just an accumulation of the ink. I thought that was part of the stamp. Look at those circles now in my... Hopefully I can get that covered up now that I've gotten rid of them. Goodness gracious. It's what happens when you have things laying around. I've been working on so many things today. I still feel like there's something there. Huh. That's interesting. I don't know what that is. Like I said, it might be, I might not have washed it well when I did the, after I did the white. Because I didn't want to move that stamp. I just took it up under the sink and washed it good. So I'm not sure what I did there that left those spots. It's going to look like an animal instead of a plant. All right, hopefully that's enough for that. Yeah, that covered those spots up good. All right, so I'm finished with this one. And I'm going to go ahead and wipe that color off, because you know how I don't like to leave pink on my stamp, because you can see how pink they are anyways. They certainly don't need any more pinkness to them. I'll just get the worst of it off. Okay. All right, so now what I have my other stamp in on the other side, so I'm going to flip this around, and I always lift it up right straight up when you go to lift it. If you lift it like this, you're going to break these things in here, the hinges. So always make sure this is straight up when you lift it. All right, now I'm using Blackberry Bliss for this piece. And all right, again, pushing that up into the corner. Boy, that's not showing you the color at all. I'm just going to give you a little, I do see I need to tilt that. Because it's so shiny, the light is not showing you the color. Okay, so now you can see that it is purplish and not shiny as it looks in the... I have got to figure my lighting out. I just don't understand why. I might have to start stamping on an angle. All right, I am going to ink that one more time because I really want that to stand out. And it's looking pretty good. I will try to get it in a better light for you in a second. Okay. All right, let me see if I can get this here. Well, this project really doesn't show up well, but you can, I think you can see there the shading, the darker shading on the flower. And I will, when we're finished, well, tomorrow when I have some natural light, I will take a picture of this and post it with this video so that you can actually see how beautiful it is. And I'm pretty sure that I can get a good picture in regular light as opposed to fake lighting. Okay, let me clean that one. We have a few more steps yet. We're not finished, but I am finished with that one. And I am going to jump to one that's already dry because I don't know if you can see how wet that is. That shiny is really wet. You can see this one is completely dry. Let me see if I can get, and it looks very white, but it's very purple. It's got that white behind it that I think is what the light is picking up. But from here you can't see much white except around the edges. So you'll just have to trust me on that one. All right, so what I did with this one then is I actually took my white pencil, whoops, and I came back and I did a little bit of coloring on the edges. And it's going to be hard to do with being so far away from me here. I just want to highlight, bring back a little bit of that white around the edge. And I'm not going to do too much of that. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna, that part is really self-explanatory and pretty easy to do. Now, I do want to stamp the center. You saw how on the sample the center was gold. And I tried a couple different things. This has a flower center that goes with the stamp set. And I'm doing my thank you. And I'm going to put them on here. And I tried using our new heat and stick powder. And I will come back to you later if I learn that I did something wrong. But at this point, I'm going to tell you that I'm not impressed with it. I've used heat and stick powder before when we used to sell it. And I've never loved it, but I definitely was able to make it work for glitter. But it did not work for me for our new gold foil. So I have my gold foil in this container here. You can see how shimmery that is. So I dumped it in a big container because the little container it comes in is way too small and it wants to fly everywhere. So, so what I decided to do, and I had already played with this before the heat and stick powder came, and it worked well for me for another project. I actually just took my green glue and why is my, hold on one second, I think I forgot to plug in my computer. Oh my goodness. No, it's plugged in. Okay. I'm not sure why my screen keeps going away. Okay. Whew, panic there for a minute. All right. So actually I just took this and I added it to my flower where I wanted this to go. But since I have this, I'm going to go ahead and show you how I did it. So I have my adhesive mat here, a silicone mat, and then I'm just taking a sponge with picking up the glue, and then I just pounce that glue right onto my stamp, and I'm going to put some on the thank you as well. I want it to be good and covered, but I don't want it everywhere, so I'm trying to just use a little piece of a sponge, and then putting that up into the corner, I'm going to go ahead and place that down and stamp that. Okay, pop that off of there, and let me scoot this away, get away all the other sticky stuff. All right, so now I'm going to just take my paper and I'm just going to lay it face down in here and give it a little press. I want to really press that gold into the gluey area. And then I have a dry sponge, a dry clean sponge, that I'm going to use to get off all of the gold. And you see it flies really, it's very lightweight and it wants to fly everywhere. Okay, so now it's all over my card. And I'm just going to start gently getting rid of some of the pieces where I know there's no glue. I found that that was helpful for me to go ahead and get rid of what I knew didn't need to be stuck on there, while I'm giving this still time for this gold to press in to get stuck on this glue. I don't want to wipe it off while that glue is still wet. So I'm just going to give a couple presses here. It's not going to press it into anything that's not sticky. And this card was completely dry because I did it a little while ago and left it sit. So I'm just going to gently now start wiping off the gold. You can see how it's just coming right off. Okay, I'm going to come down to the saying and hope that that one looks just as good. And I found that I have to work with that a little bit more because in the center of those letters, it wants to stick to the paper. There we go. Okay, now I can just completely wipe everything off. I've got a few specks here and I'm not sure why. I'm not sure if I got some glue on there, but it actually looks cute, so I don't mind. But I'm just not sure why I did that, why it did that. So hopefully you can see, I know there's a huge glare. You can really see where the shiny stuff is, but look how that turned out. This turned out so pretty, and no embossing necessary, just some glue, and voila. Okay, I'm just gonna make sure all my gold pieces are back in there. And let me set that aside. And I will come back to the card. So I did the colors again, were Rich Razzleberry, and the shaded color was Blackberry Bliss, and then this was, what did I use? Old Olive for the green. So I used, it's on black, of course, and then I used Rich Razzleberry as a matte, and then inside I did the same thing. I did a matte with Rich Razzleberry and then a white piece to stamp and write on. I toyed with possibly putting a gold bow on here, but I will post a picture of this. Like I said, I really sort of feel like that takes away from the simplistic beauty of this card. So I know that you're trusting me with that right now, and that's okay. Because with this lighting you can't see how beautiful it is, but I will post it and then you can let me know bow or no bow. Okay, all right, so that is that card. I'll put this back to finish later. And the next stamp set that I want to play with is Garden Wishes, and I have played with this a little bit. It is just so cute. Why is it that dandelions are so beautiful and you hate them in your yard, right? Why? I don't know. I don't know what the deal is with that. But you know what I totally forgot to do, and that was grab a circle. So I'm going to use, I have a piece of this laying here, and this is going to be my circle, and it's going to be a little tricky, but it's what you do in a pinch, right? Okay, so I'm starting with very vanilla cardstock, and I am going to do my stamping first, I think. Actually, no, I'm going to create my background first because I don't want to mess up my brushes. And I'm using our new blending brushes. They are so amazing. They're little bristles. They're just soft as can be. I actually want to rub my face with these. They are just baby soft. The colors I'm going to use are Calypso Coral and Pear Pizzazz. And we have 3 brushes in a pack. And pretty much you just wipe it off when you're finished, and you won't really have trouble with that color. I guess you can clean them. I need to check on that. But so I used this in pink before, so it'll go nice with Calypso. And I used this one with I forget what green I used on that, but I'm going to use that with Pear Pizzazz, so that should be okay. All right, so now I need to, I want a circle, but I didn't want it this big, but that's okay. So I am going to start up here, and I typically would have taken a Post-it note and punched a circle out of it, but in the absence of that, we're going to have this partial circle that I will turn around when I need the other side. So I'm going to ink it in my ink, and I'm going to start off of my paper and bring my color in because I don't want that dark spot getting on my paper. And I will just keep doing that until my color is how I want it. I'm going to try something once. Let me turn this light down just a hair and see if that helps with the glaring that's going on. Maybe I have too much light. How's that possible, right? I'm really sad that this is going to be a really big, whoops. I went right to the paper on that because I was talking. And now I have a big blob there. Oh well, you'll have this, right? Now I am going to turn the circle a little bit because I want to come down here and I don't want to end up with a a smudge there. Okay, and I think I can go ahead and turn this around. And I think I'm going to go ahead and sort of bring this Calypso down here. I want to get my green in here yet. All right, I'm going to switch to my green now. I'm using Pear Pizzazz, like I said. Well, that's, I think I just re-inked that, and that's really juicy. So, and I want it darker at the bottom, so I'm going to start from the bottom and bring it up. Sometimes it feels like you're taking forever to get any color down. Other times it seems like the color is just popping there. So it probably all depends on how inky your brush or your pad is. So if you're having trouble getting color down, then you might need to be re-inking your pad. It's almost like brayering, where you start is going to be darker than where you end up. So always start at the area that you want to be the darkest. And I just want this a little darker down here yet. Okay, that looks pretty good. Not bad for a improvise, right? That's a really big sun, okay? Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and take the biggest stamp in this set, and it's the big Dandelion, and I'm going to ink it with Early Espresso. Whoops, I just lost my paper. Give me a second. When stuff disappears in here, it feels like it goes to no man's land. That's quite inky. Hopefully it will stamp nice. And I'm just going to give that some gentle pressure. Ha! That looks good. Let me do this little bee on here yet. I want him to be on there. Let's see if I can get him where he's just landing on the dandelion. I don't think they really like dandelions when they're like that, but oh well, it's still cute, right? Okay, and I'm going to take our Label Me Pretty punch, and I am going to, let me go ahead and stamp this. I think this will fit in here okay. This is Wishing You All the Best from this set. And then I can just line this up in here. It's just a piece of scrap paper that I pulled out. Okay, so we have that. Let me close this. I think I'm done stamping. And I'm going to layer that actually on a piece of vanilla because you can see how the color has changed. And then that's going to get layered on just a hint of Early Espresso and then back to vanilla. You could just use Early Espresso as your base piece if you wanted to. But then I would have had to put another color inside. I did want to add ribbon to this, and I want Calypso Coral, but we didn't really have anything that was Calypso Coral, so I'm going to make my own with my Calypso Light blend. And I just start, I'm using our gold edge satin, and this brush is shot. That's why it has tape around it. That means it's not any good for a brush, which is why I'm using it on here like this. This edge with the gold is a little rough on these. I prefer to use it on like the crinkle ribbon that doesn't have an edge to it so that I don't destroy the brush tip, but it's already in bad shape, but it still has plenty of ink. It's just that the brush isn't good, so thus it's still in service. I won't retire it yet until it completely doesn't work anymore. And I could come in like this probably and save that edge a little bit. And I I always work in this direction. It seems to work for me. And then you just go back over if there's any place that looks like you need it a little bit darker. And it pretty much goes through to the other side. If you need, because this brush is pretty bad, usually it goes right through and I don't have to do the other side. But this ribbon is thick as well. So I am going to do this side just so that when I tie the faux knot that it's all blended. Okay, I think that's pretty good. And I'm going to go ahead and tie this, my faux bow. Whoops. I might need to color the rest of this, but we'll see. My ribbon scissors are stuck under my light, so I can't get that or I'll knock the light over. So my other scissors aren't cutting as well, but okay, so I just tied that there, and let me see if I can pull this hard enough to get it to cut nicely. There we go. Just cut that little circle, and then you're ready to put that on your card. And I do need to color just a little bit yet here. Okay. And I'm going to just put that around this front piece here. And I usually just add my adhesive, tack it down, come over here. Of course the knot is there. And then I will tack that down so that it's even. Check it to make sure that you like it, and I don't. So there we go. And I'm going to come back and put adhesive back over that, because now that it's pressed down, it will take the adhesive. And then let me just add a little bit more around here. And now on my layer of vanilla. And I think for, just for some extra funk, I'm going to go ahead and put some dimensionals on this layer. Because flat paper makes me ill, and there's nothing embossed on this card, and you know, raised embossing like run through the Big Shot. So I'm gonna create a little bit of texture with some dimensionals. So let me just pop these babies off of here quick. Talk amongst yourselves. So are you guys as excited as I am about this new catalog? How many of you have seen it yet? Let's see. Sylvia, you have your catalog, right? And Linda probably. Debbie, did you get yours yet from Linda Miller? Oops, 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 it's sticking before I want it. Stop, stop, stop. Okay. Anyways, I just think they did an amazing job. There are so many fun things to stamp with. It's, like I said, it's really hard to choose. Got that up there a little bit high. Okay, let's go ahead and put this on our vanilla piece. See if I can do a better job of that. Okay, and then I'm going to stick my tag on here. And actually, I want to add a little color to it. Let's go ahead and sponge on a little bit of our Calypso Coral here. I want it to have a little bit of an ombre look. So I don't want to do the whole thing. And now when I put this on where I have ribbon, I'm going to cut these little pieces here on the side. And I just usually stick a piece here at the top and a piece at the bottom so that it rides across where the ribbon is. And because the ribbon's not sticking down, I don't stick that down. So I want to make sure that my tag is going to stay down and is not going to move around with the ribbon. So that will hold that in place now that ribbon is not even able to move because it is stuck in there. So I hope you like that. It's a really, really simple card. There's no coloring involved, and it's quick and easy. You can create something quickly if you need something to send out. And yeah, so the stamp set again is called Garden Wishes. It's in the January to June mini catalog that starts on the 5th. Okay. Yes, floral art is absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, I like that one too. I've been playing with that one. I will show you that in the next couple days. So guys, check back here in each day. I'm going to be posting a video. It won't be a live probably each time, but I will be posting a video, a little sneak peek each day until the 5th, so that I can show you some of the new things that I'm working on. All right. And again, watch your email, because I will be sending out class projects and classes that I'm going to be offering in the next month or two. And some of them will have shorter deadlines than others. Our actual monthly classes start in just a week from, actually, because the first falls on a Wednesday, my classes are a little later this month. So I don't know what happened to my hair here. I must have ran, I might have run into my video or something. But anyways, so, well, thank you for joining me. Please share it with your friends if you think they might be interested in crafting and some of the projects that we did, some of the techniques that we showed. Let them know that I am on here every single week trying to provide ideas for you to get creative. I know sometimes we just need a little inspiration, and I will be giving away another new product next week on my call, or on my live, for whoever left comments and shared. When you do share, can you just post that you shared? Because it's hard for me to find that all the time. It's a little easier to go through and see that you shared that with your friends. So. All right, and you can share it on your page as well. I think that's all I have. Let me see if there's any questions that I need to answer. Yeah, hi Teresa. Yes, the brushes are really fun. I really had my doubts about it, but it just gives you a much softer look, a little smoother than using sponges does, and definitely lighter than when you use sponge daubers. So. A lot of new stuff to play with, and I'm going to try to show it all to you guys. Not in 6 days or 5 days, but over the next couple of months. We've got celebration stuff to show you. That starts on the 5th as well. And I'm actually, just stay tuned, because we're starting a group with my team, and we are going to collaborate and try to bring you more ideas. So, and have them all in one place, like albums and things like that you can look at. So you will be getting invitation to that, to join that group. And so stay tuned to that. That should be happening real soon, hopefully. All right. Thank you again. Good night. God bless.